Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge. Hopefully it's not too windy for making wind noise on the camera. Today we're taking a look at this knife by SanRenMu. Yeah, and then the wind picks up. Hopefully you can still hear what I'm saying. This is the S625. They've got a larger model that's very similar to the S725, which I've ordered, so hopefully I'll be getting it soon. And we're going to take a look at this. We've got an ABS sheath, a 360-degree holder for your belt clip, and it rotates and clips in place in 9 different positions. Those of you who are familiar with SanRenMu and have seen some of my fixed blade reviews from theirs, you've seen this before. You've also seen this on some I think real steel as well, and so they're very popular that way. Comes in 3 different colors of G10 handle scales. We've got brown, blue, and gray, or is it green? Green. Brown, blue, and green. And that's the knife that we're looking at. It's a nice small, I think it's a nice camp EDC type of knife. You know, if you're going camping, take this to your camp out. You know, if you're car camping, any kind of small camping. If you're doing a short hike, you know, this might be all that you need to take with you. And right or left-handed. For those of you who've been wondering where my videos are, I promised you 2 videos a week, probably 3 is what I was really targeting. I don't think I'll be able to get there. This week I've been helping my parents a lot and doing a lot of different work. If you take a look in their backyard here, first fence there, there's their chicken, they got their chicken run there, and then in the very back, they tore that all out and we're planting seed and they're taking care of that. Hedges to work on, all kinds of chores to be done here around the house, and I'm trying to help with them as much as I can, and with my own limitations and challenges, it's a little bit slow going, but that's what I'm working on, helping out my mom, helping out my dad. But today we're taking a look at this knife, so stick around for the full review. We'll put this camera in table down mode and go through all the little aspects about this thing, and then you can consider if you want to get one for yourself or not. Keep watching. Sorry about having the brown on the brown, but hopefully you can still see what we've got here. First, let's talk about this sheath. Again, ABS plastic. They've got a nice tiny little hole right there, so drainage. If you do wear it outside when there's rain, water would get in here. It would drain out right there. Very good design. You can unscrew these 4 and flip it to the other side to make it left-handed. Now notice how high these standoffs are. What I've done before on some of these that I've had is I've taken them apart and I've ground or sanded down these stops to half their thickness so that they're closer. That way when it's on your belt, you know, make this my body side, and when it's on your belt, it'll sit a little closer to your body instead of sitting as far off as it is. You know, even 1/8 of an inch can help it to print less, you know, if it's sitting closer to your body. You might have to grind some of these screws a tiny bit shorter to enable that as well. This one came loose because I was taking it apart to see how well it would go. And I'm using my fingers to tighten it instead of a Torx screw. But these take Torx number 8 to tighten up, and it works very well. Ingenious feature here, I've mentioned it on other videos. You can see the latch right there, and it locks into place in a number of different spots. It doesn't quite do perfectly horizontal. As you can see, it's on a slight angle. It doesn't lock in exactly horizontal. You know, it's a ways off on that side, a little closer on that side. But it does quite a good job with a lot of different options to wear it on your belt on a slight angle. Now here's the knife itself. We've got a small hole here. That's just for decorative effect, maybe a little bit for grip, but nothing else. That's not a good hole to use for doing a rod and bow fire starting. That's not what it's for. You've got these studs, they go straight through, so they're solid on this end, and you've got your Torx screws on that side so you can take it apart. I'll show you a picture of it taken apart. We've got a nice stone wash all over the place. Large swedge up here. Nice high flat grind. Very good drop point coming down to the tip right here. And there's a nice little indented spot here for your thumb rest. And your thumb sits in there very well. Nice jimping. And that's very comfortable in hand. There's your logo, SanRenMu. And on the other side, you've got the model number, S625-2. The -2 is for brown. -1 is green. And -3 is blue. And this one was made in February of 2018. That's that little triangle there with the O2 on it. I don't have my magnifying glass, my magnifying USB camera. Maybe I do have it with me. I'd have to go hunt it down. I don't think I've got it with me. So I might not be able to give you close-up pictures or for my videos this summertime, but be that as it may. Nice big choil here at the beginning for your finger. And another bit of a choil back here. A little bit of a rise right there. Nice chamfered edges. So your hand fits in there very well and comes around and really, you can get a really good grip on it. My hands are large, bordering on extra large. And this knife is pretty much the smallest knife that, you know, I'd like to carry around for a small EDC, but I do really like this size. It's a nice size to have on you if you're just doing, you know, a small day out, or, you know, just a small walk away from camp, you know, in a place where, you know, you're safe from predators and stuff. You know, all you need is a nice little knife. Nice little Spanish notch here, or sharpener's choil, whatever you want to call it. Very well done. It's perfect. Cutting edge is excellent. It was at about a 19-degree angle on both sides, so I just sharpened it up a little bit on both of those sides. This is 8CR14 MOV, and I've reviewed 8CR14 MOVs very many times, so I won't be doing cut tests or cut demonstrations for you. I've done it on so many videos. You can take a look at that. 8CR14 MOV comes in at a Rockwell hardness of around 58, 59. Very good for a nice Chinese steel. Very good budget Chinese steel, if you ask me. I like it an awful lot. I've used it quite a bit. The friction fit of the sheath is very good. Makes a tiny bit of noise, but it doesn't come out. Well, it comes out when you want it to, but it doesn't accidentally come out. Holds it very well. You've got a little bit of, you know, plastic, you know, jimping right there that helps you get a little grip to take it off. It just goes in and out very, very well. The price for this, it's on sale right now. I'm talking to you on Friday. I think it's the 20th of July. And different colors are on sale for either 5 or 6 days, 4 days, depending on when I get this finally posted. So check for that. I'll have links down below in the description area down there that you can pick up this knife at GearBest on a sale. I got this through GearBest. GearBest sent this to me at their cost. Or did I buy this one? I can't remember. I buy so many of my knives, I don't keep track of which ones I buy, at least not a very hard, very strict record. I review my knives the same if I bought them or if they're given to me. I just use the same standard always. It's just the way I do things. It's my own personal integrity policy. Let's keep talking about this thing though. Let's go over all the different sizes and aspects of this thing. So first, the cutting edge is 7.56 centimeters, 2.98 inches. The blade length, so tip of the blade to the closest G10 spot, is 7.87 centimeters, 3.1 inches. So it's not the 3.66 inches that SanRenMu says it is. It just isn't. There's no way to measure from the tip to anywhere on the G10 and get more than about 3.25 inches. You just can't get 3.6. You measure back here maybe. It's just an odd thing that they say that. I didn't have my scale with me to measure the weight, so I'll just give you the weight that they say that it is, and hopefully that's pretty close. But let's keep going on the sizes. The blade thickness is 3.4 millimeters. That's 0.134 inches. The blade depth is 3.16 centimeters. That's 1.24 inches. The thickness of the edge behind the grind, 0.44 millimeters, which is 0.017 inches. That's awesome. This is a wonderful slicing knife. Nice thin behind the edge, and it cuts very, very well. And it's going to take a number of sharpenings before it starts getting so thick that it's going to become a little bit of a challenge to start cutting. As I said, 19 degrees per side is the angle of the cutting edge. Let's talk about the handle. The handle length measured from the beginning of the G10 to the end of the steel, 9.79 centimeters, 3.85 inches. The handle thickness is 1.35 centimeters, that's 0.53 of an inch, but it's well rounded so it doesn't feel thick at all. The handle depth, its biggest right here, is 2.54 centimeters, 1 inch. And I'll talk more about that in just a minute. The grip length, so from here to here, 8.75 centimeters, 3.45 inches. And the total length of this knife is 17.6 centimeters, 6.93 inches, so basically a 7-inch knife. They say that it weighs 105 grams, and I'll put the ounces on the screen what that is. And together with the sheath, that makes it a little bit more. The sheath is probably about 40 grams, 35 grams, something like that. It's actually a bit weighty because it has all these extra components back here, and that adds a little bit of extra weight. Well, it's probably more like 30 grams. I just don't have my measurement, my scale with me. I thought my mother had a good kitchen scale, but unfortunately she doesn't. The price right now, as I said, they're on sale. Before I talk about that, I was going to talk about this. I said that depth. I was going to talk more about that. Take a look at this handle. We've got a nice forward choil there, so your index finger goes in. Where does your middle finger go? It goes right on that spot there. I'm not too fond of that. For me, it feels okay if you're just using it for a little while, but it starts to get a little bit tiring, a little bit hot right there on that finger, right there, while you're holding it tight for a long time. I wish they would have kept that a little bit narrower. Since it's so narrow here and here, it just feels odd that that index finger has to stick out so far. So, that's what I might have changed. I might have had this choil come up and then have it start to come back down right there. Instead of having it come down here, move that forward 1 centimeter. So up and then down and sweep back. That would be more comfortable, at least I think. That's not a big deal. It's a small complaint because a knife like this, you're not going to use it for a lot of hard work for a long extended period of time anyways. But if that scenario came up, that would be a little bit uncomfortable. How much does this knife cost right now? Well, it depends. It's either $24.48 US or $23.48 US. And that's not a bad price. In Canadian, that's $32.46 or $31.13. In British pounds, that's 18.8 or 18.03. And in euros, it's either 21 euros or 20.15 euros. So not a bad price for a good little fixed blade that's going to come in very handy, very well designed, really nice belly, sharpens up very well, and it's a very nice little knife. I do wish for those people who were restricted to 3-inch knives that they would have made this version slightly smaller, and then the 725, the S725 version, it could be the large one. But unfortunately, this is just a little over 3 inches from the tip to the end of the handle. The cutting edge is less than 3 inches, but if they would have just made the G10 come out further, they could have done away with that, and this blade could be exactly like it is. And if the G10 came further up the ricasso, this would be a 3-inch, sub 3-inch knife, and that would be awesome. But it is what it is. Well, if you do get one of these, if you are handy at all, you can take these handle scales off and replace them, and just replace them with handle scales that come up to where this plunge is, and you would be within your 3-inch law, I think. I'm not a lawyer. Don't take me at giving legal advice. I just think that might be an option for some of you guys. So in a nutshell, what do I like? I like this nice big swedge up here. It comes nice and thin, really high saber grind, great sharpener's choil, nice thin edge behind the grind, nice thumb rest right there with a little bit of jimping. I really like the lanyard hole placement. That's perfect. A little bit of jimping back there, so you can use it as a bit of a persuader if you need to, or nut crusher, whatever you need to do with that end. Grip, this reverse grip, very handy, very comfortable. almost any grip you want to grip it in, pinch it ahead, you know, nice and comfortable. Very, very handy knife that comes in, very, very useful. The let me see, what else do I have in here? I think it's a good camp knife, a good camp kitchen knife. You know, everything's great about it. The only one thing that I didn't like about it, I've already mentioned, is the placement for your finger right there. I wish it was a little bit different made right there. So there you go. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll send you some more videos as soon as I can. Oh, remember, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.